Microsoft Power Apps is a very simple but also advanced utility on Microsoft 365 that allows you to create professional looking applications without knowing too much code, even though you can add in some code with it. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a application, a people or contacts application using Power Apps in a very simple manner with an Excel table or spreadsheet. So let's jump in and take a look at it. So here it is. Here is the Excel spreadsheet that I was talking about. Well, this is one of the Excel spreadsheets that I'm going to demonstrate in here. So like I said in the intro, you can create using Power Apps, similar to the app called Project Sienna that Microsoft made way back when. It kind of feels like a precursor. Project Sienna feels like a precursor to Power Apps, but in Project Sienna, you can make essentially like simple applications, and this one is a little bit more advanced, but you can create applications using stuff as simple as Excel, only Power Apps is embedded deeply even into Microsoft Teams, so you can do even more with that, and you can even use Amazon things and everything else. But here is an example that Microsoft had on their website, and basically this is just what they call flooring estimates. It's a simple spreadsheet that just tells you your name, category, price, which I'm going to just stretch out a little bit, name, category, price, image, which is just a screenshot or just a link to an image, and then you have an overview, which will, all of these things will be in the field that I'll show you in a second. And then we have another one here, and then this one here was the one I made. This one is just a random contacts list. That's why you're going to see emails don't line up, like Ryan Marion to Bob Jim as last name, or maybe even Jack Daniels, or maybe John Legend, you know, who knows, maybe Leo Laporte, maybe he's in there too. But in general, this is the simple spreadsheet that you're going to need, or you can use to make your thing. You just template based off of this kind of thing. One thing you're going to need to do though is if you want to make it like organized by like, you know, first, last name, whatever it is, sort it first by say first name or whatever you want to do. I'm sorting it by first name. In fact, I'll sort it by last name just to do it that way. So last name Turd is the very last one, and the first name is Al, and then in the middle we have Laporte and Johns, Jimmy Johns, going through. And then one thing you're going to see here is this Power Apps ID thing. You don't have to really worry about that because Power Apps ID will not show up inside your actual Power App. It's just something that Power Apps tacks on to the spreadsheet in order to make it so that way it can use this information. And then one final piece of information too, with this one table in front of me is, yes, in fact, you need to make this thing a table. You cannot use just simple text that you've typed in like that. You know, you can't do that. You have to make it a table. And to do that, all you do is highlight those fields, and you would go over to table wherever I can find it. Looks like I can't find table, but you go over to table, and basically when you highlight enough things, you can create a table. It says table design, and you'll see something around here. It says create table, and that's when you'll do it. I probably just don't have enough fields to make this a table, but you'll just do it that way. And that's about it. So let me remove this stuff here. And yeah, so that's the table there. I've already made Power Apps for these things here, but I'll kind of run you guys through quickly what you would click on to get to each one. So moving over to Brave, going into the Power Apps area here. So this is people. This is the one, the finished product of my people app that I showed you guys on here, the maybe contact. So you see Joe Turd is there. And if I go over here, you can see Joe Turd. Where is he? There he is, Joe Turd. You click on him, you see his fields showing up right there. Now I know formatting is a little off, you know, it's not lined up perfectly, but you can always change that, which I'll show you in a second, or maybe in a future video. Phone number is a little issue that I haven't been able to figure out yet because I'm also still kind of learning it, but it was working before and for some reason now it's not. But when I fix it, I'll show you guys in a video how to fix that issue if you have that issue. But it works really well. And also this application, before I even continue, this application is available on iOS, Android, and even Windows 10 itself. So you can probably see it down here. This application is available on Windows 10, and this is the actual application, similar to what you see there on their website, but this is the app. So Joe Turd, click on him. You can see his information there. If I want to edit his information, you can click it, and I can be like, oh, his phone number looks weird. Let me change it, and I can make it 555-555-5555. I can do that. I can hit check off and it will work exactly what I think it will be. Another thing you can do when the application is done, which again, I'll get to the process of how to actually get it to this point. But another thing you can do is you can search with it. It's very simple. So if I want to search for, I don't know, Satya, which I think I have caps lock on, you see Satya Nadella. He's right there, and this is his address, which is not, but there we go. Clearly he's not in Virginia. So going back in, this is a simple way on how you get into all of this. So I'm not going to hit OK with it, but I'm going to show you guys what you do. So you go to, basically you go home. Once you sign into the PowerApps thing, which is just powerapps.com, and then you sign in with a company account or a school account. Student works fine, like I'm doing right now, VCCS Student Advantage. You can then see this information here. This is the first thing you'll see. Obviously, you won't see your apps because you haven't built any apps if you've never used it before. Hit start from data right there. Excel Online is what you're going to want to do. Or another thing you can do, because you're not using Excel Online, you go to other data sources, you click on that, and it'll bring up other data sources when it loads. And then you see my email address is right there. I click on whichever email I want to use. So for you guys, you would go to new and you would go to email address, and then you can see your files there and pick whichever one you want. So let's say the one I'm going to pick is, let's say, I don't know, let's do contacts list 2 and then table 2. And then if I want to hit connect, I hit connect. And then you'll see it slowly populates the field. The table cannot be open. That table has to close before, and you have to wait a while before it'll populate. And then there you go. That's table 2. That's essentially another Excel spreadsheet that I have when I was testing this out. This is how it looks like. Now you can see right there that it kind of doesn't look right? It looks weird. And let me go full screen right there. So it looks weird. See how it has the address kind of street number kind of there, and the name is small, and the format just looks very strange. So what you do is you click the bottom corner right there of your screen, or of your, let's say what the app would be. And then you hit here. What I say you should do is go to layout, which is under properties when you click that corner. And then you see layout under properties. And then it says title, subtitle, and body. You probably don't need all that in a contacts app. Now, what I'm doing to refer myself for contacts is I'm looking at like my Android phone, what Google Contacts looks like. So I'm going to do title and subtitle. When you do that, it changes a little bit. So now it's just those. And then it still doesn't look too right. So again, another thing we're going to do is when this is still highlighted, you go over to fields under properties, hit edit, and then you see subtitle 1, which when I click it, you see what it highlights, and subtitle 2, what it highlights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change subtitle 1. I'm going to make it first name small, and I'm going to make last name big. So that's when you're going to get legend on top and John at the bottom. And then it's going to look a lot better. It's going to look like it should. You know, it's not going to look so strange. Now, another thing I'm going to do too is make the font a little bigger. So I'm going to make it like 25. See how that looks? Does it look good to me? Maybe I'll change the font style to Sego UI, which is Microsoft's UI font, Windows UI font. Change that to Sego UI as well. And then there we go. We have that. And I'm going to probably up this to 20 as well, just to make it a little bigger. And then another thing, just to tweak for cosmetic sake, I'm going to lower the arrows, make it a little smaller, change the table name. So what you do to change the table name is you just click on the table and you can see text there, or you can just double click right there and you can change it. I'm going to change it to contacts list, or you know what? I'm going to change it to people, you know, because that's what it is. It's a people app. And then the other part of what I'm going to do too is I'm going to increase this to about 35 font. So it's a lot bigger. Maybe, you know, let's see how 40 looks. Does it look bigger? Okay, let's see 50. What fits really good in that field is what I'm looking for. Change that font. I'm going to change it to that font style. Position on the y-axis. I'm going to check to see how -10 looks, kind of copying what I was showing you before. -10 doesn't look right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just hit undo. And then what I'm going to do is actually going to do 15. I'm going to do positive 15 so it goes down. And then it kind of reminds me of Windows Phone, you know, it really does. And that's what I liked it to be. So you can do it that way, and then maybe increase the font to 60 and make it a little bigger. Maybe push the position of it down just a smidge. So maybe I want to push it down to, maybe I want to push it down 5 more, just so it lines up a little better. And now you see it looks really sharp. It looks really clean. Already it's looking good. And then the next thing you can do too, just to modify things and make things look a little more interesting, is you can click on the fields and just see different things. You have different color choices. You have a lot of little tweaks that you can do. Even the theme, you can change the theme from the default blue that they have to whatever you want, or you can change it all by yourself and do whatever you want. I'm going to choose red because that's just my color of choice for everything. And red is, yeah, I like that red right there. The border color, you can change that. If you just want it to be clear, you can do that. You can just, you can do a lot of things. You just use the hex code for whatever color you're looking for. But I think this looks pretty good so far. Now, the next thing you're probably going to wonder is what happens when you want to click in. So what I'm going to do is first F5, click it and see how it looks. You see there's almost no animation at all. When you click on things, it doesn't even back down at all. It looks nice, but let me hit no. It looks nice, but it's not done yet for me. So one other thing you can do, and I'm probably going really fast, but another thing you can do is you can go to the detail screen, and which is what, when you click on the field of, say, John Legend, this is what you're going to see. And you can tweak this too. So already we know we need to tweak this to not say table 2. So again, I'm just going to call it details because it's the details of the contact. Another thing you can do is you can change the size of the address by just double clicking it, and you see it highlights, and you can change the size of it. You have to do it individually with each field, which I'm not going to go through right now, but you have to do it all individually. But again, it's really straightforward doing it all. And then last thing too, going down one more to the edit screen. This is how the edit screen looks like for this. And again, we can't have it look like table 2. So we're going to say edit contact. So let's do that. Boom. And then that's it. Edit contact. So now when we hit F5, you see I can hit X, and you see people. We have Legend John, all these little things. You can actually click into John. See, it says details. It looks clean. It looks nice. If I want to edit him, I can edit John. I can make, maybe if this works for me this time around, I'll make his phone number 555-552-0022. That is not John Legend's phone number, obviously. And then wait for it to finish and update. Sometimes it goes back, and in fact, this time it did work. So going back, you see updated John Legend is 555-552-0022, and you're done. So that's pretty much a quick rundown in the short period of time that I want to make this video not too long. A quick rundown of just PowerApps. It's really strong. Like, you can use PowerApps on Microsoft Teams and just import data from there. You can use Power BI and stuff like that to see metrics and things like that. But this specific video was trying to get an app to work on what's it called, on PowerApps. Just a simple Excel pretty much based app, or an Excel based app that I made on PowerApps. So final thing before I go, here's the people app that I was talking about again. It looks really clean. I actually spent time on it. So it has nice animations and things like that. This one, you can do animations as well. You just go to browse screen. You can click on the table in the corner right there. And then you can see transition down here when you click it. And you can pick pop or whatever you want. When you hit pop, you can just wait. And then you hit F5 to see it. And this is what pop looks like when it looks good. I like it. It looks good, just like the barbecue pit boys say. So it's a nice application. I like it because I'm not a person that knows any programming. I will tell you that now. I'm a designer first, and I only spent a short period of time, creating this simple people app just now in front of you guys, and it works really well. Now you can do more tweaks to it, but for this simple basic video on how to make a quick thing, it works really well. And it's available again on Windows 10, the Microsoft Store. It's available on Android, Google Play Store, and Apple's App Store. One other thing before I go, if you guys want me to make more videos like this, more things just to teach, how to do certain functions as I'm even learning it too, let me know in the comment section below. I'm actually pretty interested in doing this. You guys will probably see more of this type of stuff, but if you really like this stuff, let me know what stuff I should dip into. Who knows? So who knows if it'll come with a video with it. But getting close to 500 subs, hopefully this one makes it there. And stay safe out there, everybody. COVID is still alive and well, and it's chewing everybody out. All right, everybody, take care.